Hi, I am in the woods walking the dogs. I'm with my dead cat here, which is the microphone, which is supposed to um, pick up sound even if there's wind, which there's a lot of wind. I'm with the dog, Pablo Escobar here, who's a bit of a slob, and Chorizo there, who's a bit more lively, but they hate it in this weather. And I want to do a talk about bad weather because bad weather is a great excuse for not going traveling or and somehow it's symbolic because it's one of those many things you have to overcome when you're on the road. Like, oh, it's difficult, it's like risky, it's whatever problems. I'm not going to do it. But actually, like anything. Yeah, what I mean is, it's like anything. You just have to deal with it, and there's lots of great ways of dealing with the weather. For instance, you'll see that I'm wearing a waterproof jacket here, and what, and that's quite common. Everybody has one of them, but actually, most waterproof jackets are crap because they're cheap and they don't have Gore-Tex, which makes them pretty useless. And you also need to re-waterproof and stuff like that. And most people never think about waterproof trousers, but without waterproof trousers, going hiking or backpacking or whatever can be a total disaster because your legs get wet, your shoes get full of water, you freeze, and it's hell. So invest in waterproof trousers and shoes. And actually, a good way of getting waterproof shoes without having to spend loads of money is to get waterproof socks, because then you can just wear any old shoes and your feet stay dry. They're incredible. So basically, if you get that gear, you can be out in the pissing rain or the terrible winter climate and have a good time. Just make sure you get this kind of jacket, a kind of thin layer, Gore-Tex layer, rather than a ski type jacket, which has got loads of padding in it and it makes you sweat, and open it up and it kind of ruins everything. Good for skiing, but unless you go into really cold places, these thin Gore-Tex jackets are perfect. But the main thing I want to talk about is actually camping, because the other the other thing that you don't need, but is a really great thing to have, is full camping gear, because then you have somewhere to stay at all times. Like, I'm driving around Britain at the moment. I'm going to be driving around a lot next year doing my book promotion, 12 jobs in 12 months, and I'm going to have a full camping gear in the back of the cup, basically a rucksack with a tent, sleeping bag, mat, basic cooking gear. So I may get offered places to stay, but I don't want to oblige anyone to put me up. And if not, I just go to a campsite or just go into a wood like this, late evening, set up shop, Bob's your uncle. And what's great about that option, like having waterproof camping gear and winter camping gear, especially for this time of year, which is obviously it's more expensive, but if you use it a few times, it pays for itself. Come on, doggy, let's go. What's wrong with her? Anyway, the great thing about having that stuff is that literally wherever you go, you can stay somewhere for free. So you might get an invite to stay somewhere and then not like it and think, I want to get out of here. And you just hit the road, head for the nearest forest in the evening, put the tent up, sleep a night, get up early, and you go, no one knows you're there. And it's just so liberating because it means that I don't need to worry about where to stay. I certainly don't need to fork out the hundreds of pounds a night you need to spend in this country, Britain, on hotels. And in America, it's even worse. Hotels are over $150 a night. It's completely insane. Obviously, in Eastern Europe and Asia, it's not like that. You don't need to do all this. But if you're traveling in Europe and you're not the son of a wealthy magnate, then this is the way to go. I promise you. I think it's an essential part of the psychology of travel, just to have a place to sleep. Um, uh, so actually, what that all comes down to is camping and getting some practice in. So basically, my advice to you is get some camping gear, however crap it may be, and just practice. Go to the nearest wood or campsite or garden. Do it in your back. Start off in your back garden. It doesn't matter how crap your gear is. In fact, the worse the better, because the worse the gear is, the more you're going to learn. Like if you've got tent that leaks, sleeping bag that's um, really cold, great, because then the next day you're going to go, that was a hellish night. I need to spend some money. And then you see a winter sleeping bag, £300. What a complete rip-off. No, it's not a rip-off, it's just expensive. But then you'll realize that a night in a hotel is going to cost you 80, £100. So that's it. Basically, a winter sleeping bag is equivalent of 3 or 4 nights in a hotel. So it's actually incredibly good value if you use it. Problem is, of course, like bicycles, everybody's got one, but not many people use them, which means they just take up space, cost money, and are actually a waste of space. So anyway, this is one of my keys to independent travel, is just having waterproof gear for hiking and biking and stuff, and then a place to stay, namely somewhere to camp, always available. Like I'm going to Scotland in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to take all that gear, and I'll show you how I set up shop. It's all pretty basic. It's just all that needed basically is the desire to do this, and then practice, make mistakes. It took me years and it took me about 20 years to work all this out, but it's actually very simple because I put blocks in place of learning. Anyway, let me know what you think. Bye.